Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is super bittersweet. It's my last video of 2017, but I'm ready for a fresh and new start. Like I've said before, you know, I don't like using a new year as an excuse for a fresh start, but I'm over 2017 and I'm ready for the new year. So today we're going to be talking all about 2018 goals. I did a video like this last year where I shared with you my goals for 2017. So I'm going to share with you whether or not I met those goals. Not only that though, I'm also going to give you some tips on how you can set goals for 2018 or for anything really, how to set goals in general and how you can achieve them. I took notes. I have 3 pages here of just notes that I took from last year, and I have some suggestions in here from you guys because a while ago on Snapchat I asked you guys some questions and you gave me your answers and feedback, and I saved a lot of your responses because they go perfect with today's topics. And lastly, before I get into it, grab a snack, grab a glass of wine, relax. It's gonna be a pretty long video, or grab like some soda if you're not of age, but yeah, grab some snacks because this is going to be a pretty long video, but I hope that you guys enjoy it. Look at your previous goals. Let's say you set goals every single year. Look at your goals from last year and see whether or not you were able to achieve them and why. Maybe you set goals that were a little bit too high. Maybe you weren't in a good mindset to set the goals that you set previously for yourself. So think about why you weren't able to achieve the goals that you set for yourself, if you had any. This next tip is so simple and you might not think it would make a difference, but for me it really does. And that's to write your goals down or say them out loud. For me, it's easier to share them with you guys because I can always go back to this video and see, okay, these are the goals that I set for myself. I said it out loud, I put it out there, and I find that I achieve goals that way when I have them written down or when I say them out loud to somebody or to myself even. You also need to be in a good mindset. I briefly mentioned this earlier, but you need to make sure that you're in a good state of mind. You don't want to set goals when you're stressed out or when you're just over it, when you're ready for the new year. Like, you have to be very realistic. So do this at a time where you're calm, where you're relaxed, where you're like zenned out, like really chill before you set goals, because if you're just all over the place, you're gonna set goals that are just not realistic and you're gonna end up disappointed because you weren't able to achieve those really high goals that you set for yourself. And I really never thought about that, to be quite honest with you, but I was watching a few videos here on YouTube, and one of the girls I was watching, I'm gonna leave their links to the videos down below so you guys can watch them because they're very helpful. But I was watching her video and she mentioned like you have to be in a good mindset, and it's so true. You don't want to do things or think about things or set goals when you're just not in a good place. Don't set the bar too high because you don't want to end up disappointed. So if you want to buy a new car, be realistic. If you can't get the Range Rover you want at the moment, like, you know, bring it down a notch. Of course, me purchasing my first car this past year, of course I want like this luxury car, but it's like you have to be realistic. So if you want a new car, just leave it at that. Don't put the exact car that you want unless you know for sure that you can achieve that goal, like things like that. Stay organized. This kind of goes with writing things down. Just write things down, have a planner, organize your life basically so you can make sure that you're on track. If you're not somebody that keeps things organized, do things in your own way that will make you get there. Now that we've written down, said out loud, and set those goals, we're going to talk about some things you can start 2018 with and how to achieve those goals. So the first thing you got to start 2018 with, and I already mentioned this, is you got to have a positive mindset. Maybe last year you had a crappy year, a lot of things just happening. There was this whole like Mercury in retrograde. Whether you believe that or not, just if you had bad experiences this past year, try to go into the new year with a positive mindset. Think that everything's going to be okay. You're going to work hard to make sure that everything is okay. These are some suggestions you guys mentioned, things you do to kind of zen. So in a quiet, clean space with candles lit, a notebook, and write down your thoughts. hot shower, bath bomb, wine, and a face mask. When I'm in the shower or even when I'm driving in the car, that's when I'm like thinking a lot, and that's where a lot of my like ideas spark. I don't know why, but apparently that's something you guys experience too. And then one thing I wrote was to write down a small list of good things that you experienced in 2017. Even if you had a crappy year, think of the good things that happened this year. So yes, for me, I didn't have a great end of 2017, I guess you can say. Like the second half of this year was just all over the place, but I got to think about the first half. Like I was able to get a car, like all the things that I was able to do that I set for last year, and just good things in general. Try not to focus on, oh my God, last year was crappy, like all these things happened, blah, 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 blah. Like think about the good. I mentioned this earlier, but have a planner. Get a planner from January to December and write everything down. And I don't mean just goals. I mean write things down that you need to do. If you have a doctor's appointment, write it down. If you have an assignment due, write it down. If you have a meeting for work, write it down. Write everything down so you can check things off. It gives you a sense of like you achieved something, because when you mark things down and you cross it out that you got it done, it makes you feel good. Another thing that you can start 2018 with, or another way that you can achieve goals, is to start fresh. And this can mean a lot of different things. It can mean to change your hair. To some that may be a little much, but believe it or not, a lot of people in the new year, I kind of want to change my hair, but something's telling me not to. But change your hair, change the layout of your room, do a deep clean in your house, your apartment, your room. Pamper yourself. Like you guys said, take a hot shower, bath bomb. You can try a new workout routine, try something different. Or like me, I just changed my filming setup, and that's something that I want to do for the new year. It just gives you a sense of a fresh start. Now let's talk about a few things to keep in mind, and I'm about to get like Oprah Winfrey on you, but these are all things that you guys said. So everything in life is either a task or opportunity. It depends on the type of mindset one nourishes. Everything happens for a reason, and what you want for yourself or think you want for yourself isn't even close to the blessings that God has in store for you. Sometimes you have to face rejection to make way for bigger, better things. Don't take life for granted. That's always good advice. If you don't like something, let it go. Your happiness matters the most. Don't count on others to make you happy. What's meant to be will be. You can't force things. Have patience. You get what you work for. Isn't that true? Go with your gut. And then this one's a little bit longer, but I really wanted to share it. So they said, I recently moved out of my parents, and I can't tell you enough how much I truly appreciate my family, even more now that I'm on my own. They don't tell you how hard it is to live away from them, but they tell you how fun it is to live on your own. In reality, yes, it is fun because I don't live by any rules, but dang, living on your own is no joke. Financially, it's a challenge because you need to be strict with your spending. Yes, you do. Now that I'm away from my family, I miss them every day, and I can't believe how grateful I am to have them supporting me. My lesson is to appreciate those who care for you and care for them twice as much. My mom's advice is always the best. La vida te da las mismas lecciones hasta que aprendas de ellas. Also, recibirás de la vida lo que hayas puesto en ella. That is true. And then also, don't set deadlines, but set daily goals and enjoy the process. And that's true. Sometimes we can get caught up in the goals that we set. Just take it day by day. You can't see the future as a faraway thing. Work towards the future now and actively create the future that you wish for. Everything that is worth it takes time, and take your time. Everyone has their own time clock. There's no need to rush anything. So these are all lessons that you guys have said you've learned, and they're good tips to keep in mind when the new year starts. Just reading that, you guys got me all inspired over here. But let's talk about some goals that I was able to achieve this past year. And I want to share these because I want to show you that if you set your goals, if you write things down, if you're really dedicated, you can reach some of the goals that you set for yourself. So some goals that I was able to achieve, I was able to move back home to my parents' house, and I saved money. That was a goal that I had set for myself. And I know sometimes when people move back home, like, you don't think of it as a good thing, but I was able to achieve the next goal that I set for myself, which was buying a new car. And I was able to do that because I moved back home and I saved money. I knew what it was going to take for me to be able to get the car, and I did just that. And then another thing I was able to achieve was moving more. And by that I meant exercising, because I found that I wasn't really going to the gym, working out, like I had just stopped. So I purposely joined a workout class for my last semester of university, and it worked out perfectly. And it wasn't necessarily because I wanted to like lose weight or anything. It was just I wanted to stay active. I also started my own little cookbook. I printed out all the sheets, and I have like a little binder full of recipes from my mom. I improved my video quality. I bought a new lens. I bought a microphone. I still want to improve it even more though, but I'm really happy with the fact that I was able to purchase a new lens to improve my quality, and I also improved it by getting a new microphone. I was able to work with bigger brands and had bigger opportunities this past year, which is always good, and things are already lining up for 2018, and I cannot believe it. I gotta thank my managers for that too. It's crazy. But yeah, getting the opportunity to work with bigger brands, that was something that I was really excited about this past year. And then I was also a lot more organized with my emails and my work-life balance. Graduated college, finally completely done with a good GPA. I got to travel. I didn't travel as much as I wanted to. Hopefully this next year I will, but I got to travel to New York for New York Fashion Week. And then a goal of mine was also to get rid of most of my acne, and I did. All of my like active acne is gone. Now I'm just working on like the scars and everything like that. So what are my goals for 2018? And my list is a little bit shorter than it was last year, but I feel like the goals are a little bit bigger. One thing I want to do is to avoid negative people and negative vibes. This past year, Lord have mercy. They can be people that you know personally or people you don't know personally. Think about the things you consume, like on social media. Like, what kind of things are you watching or liking on social media or just in general? Really educate myself on what I'm bringing to the table and what I'm taking from the table as well. That's just something to keep in mind. So being a little bit more positive and trying to avoid negative vibes. Be myself a lot more on camera, and also speaking a little bit more Spanish. That's something that I'm already starting, but I feel like last year, like I was so focused on like, I don't know what I was focused on, but I was just so like, what's up you guys, welcome back to my channel, I'm Sabrina, also known as Marie J. Like, I was just so strategic, and I want to let loose. And speaking a little bit more Spanish, which I've kind of sprinkled in some of my videos. Work really hard now that I'm done with school. Graduated from university, should be getting my diploma soon. Now that I'm done, I really want to focus on work and improving my quality, improving just my work life in general. Have a meet and greet. I've been wanting to have a meet and greet for a while, but it's a lot harder than I thought. So maybe having, I don't like calling it meet and greets, but like a time where we can all meet. I've had the chance to meet some of you guys at like Target or at the mall or at the grocery store, but I want to set a time where anybody who's around the area who's willing to come just to hang out, even if it's with like a brand collab or something where I can get to meet a lot more of you guys, because the people who I have met, you guys are just amazing, and it'd be cool to get to meet you guys. I want to start to figure out where I want to move when I do purchase a home, because I've started saving for that. And this upcoming year, I also want to look more into when I can buy a home, because being self-employed, it's a little different, and the process I feel like is a lot more annoying. But that's something that I really want to get into, is figure out where I would even want to move and to make sure I'm on track for buying a home. I also want to give back a lot more to different communities. I want to donate either time, money, whatever I can to different communities. Adopting a dog. I'm looking into that. I really want to adopt a dog this year, a little puppy. and I want to rescue. I don't want to go to like a store and just purchase one. I want to go to the shelter. Now that I've had the chance to work with bigger brands, I want to start creating long-term relationships with brands. So finding those brands that I'm really passionate about and working with them for like a longer period of time instead of just a one-time deal. You know what I mean? Of course, I want to invest in more equipment for my channel. I want to get a new lens, possibly a better camera, a better vlogging camera, because I haven't been vlogging that much. Not really a fan of the camera that I have right now for vlogging, but investing in little things like that for my channel because there's always room for improvement. And lastly, to invest in myself. Invest more time on myself, invest in myself, because I find that a lot of times I invest in other things, sometimes even other people. And I feel like this year I really want to focus on building myself as a person, getting to know myself, and spending more time with myself. Here are some things that some of you have mentioned that you've been wanting to do but haven't had the chance to. So maybe this year you can kind of think about doing them. So some of you said you want to skydive for the first time, get up and move to another state to follow your dreams, go back to school and learn how to drive. That was a very common one. Be more financially adventurous or start your own business, go back to college, talk to your crush, avoid missed opportunities, travel more often and alone. I think that's something that I want to do too, and that goes with investing in myself, is traveling more and traveling alone even. I went to New York this past year by myself, and it was like just a different experience going somewhere by yourself. It can be scary, but at the end it's like really fulfilling. Communicate with someone you really miss. Start your own YouTube channel, volunteer more, find out who my real father is, drop out of college and live the way I see it, not the way society sees it, quit my job, be more successful, have kids already. I have baby fever, but I'm afraid I won't be able to finish school and get the career that I want. Do it when you're ready. That's all I gotta say. Be more confident with myself instead of feeling judged. Be more brave and outgoing, and dressing however I want without being afraid of not being able to pull it off. If you sent in some of those responses, think about it. Maybe you can set some of those as your goals for this upcoming year if you haven't achieved them already. Thank you also, by the way, for those of you who did answer back in that Snapchat that I had put out. Before heading out, I wanted to just thank you guys for all the love and all of the support that you guys have given me this past year and always, ever since I've been here on YouTube and on social media. I appreciate you guys, every single one of you, and I hope that this new year brings nothing but happiness and joy to your life, and I hope that you guys achieve all the goals that you set for the new year. My goodness, crazy. 2017 is almost over, but let's go ahead and wrap up this video. I love you guys so much. Los quiero mucho, and I will see you all in 2018.